as a man, but that lofty spirit, that sense of enterprise, that devotion to something that cannot be sensed, cannot be realized, but only dreamed, the highest reality.
Brilliant! Bravo, Captain!
To show you guys how to install a cam chain tensioner. The cam chain tensioner that I've decided to go with is a Southern California Motorworks mechanical tensioner. The other chain tensioners go on oil pressure and a spring. I had already changed out the stock tensioner on my BMW K1200R Sport because they were known to bleed down when the bike set, and the bike sometimes would jump a tooth or two on the timing chain because this is an interference engine. An interference engine, the pistons and the valves share the same space at different times in the cylinder chamber, and when they go out of timing, the piston and the valve come to that same place in the chamber and collide, and you can destroy your engine. So it is highly recommended that you change out the stock cam chain tensioner. The improved one has a reservoir on it that holds more oil in it, and they're not supposed to fail as often. It also is a recall on these bikes that you put a cam jump guard in there. This is the engine here. This is where the sprocket is from your crankshaft. There's a little plastic cage that goes over that. It's a $10 part, but it's absolutely a necessity to have on these bikes because it prevents your bike from jumping a chain and destroying the engine. So the first thing you're going to need is the proper tools. That is an E8 Torx inverted Torx socket. Let me show it to you over here. I've got other tools here because I had weird cam chain noise, and I put the mechanical tensioner on and I was still getting a weird noise, but I can't find anything wrong in there. It doesn't look like any of my rails are broken. The chain looked fine, so I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm going to try reinstalling this and readjusting it and see if that noise goes away. Let me find my 1/4-inch drive. All right, here it is. This is an E8 Torx inverted Torx socket. You're going to need a universal swivel on a 1/4-inch drive socket set to get in there. It's a little awkward. I have fat fingers, so I can't get in there. I have Wendy to rescue me again. She bails me out when my fat fingers jam me up. So if you're removing the stock cam chain tensioner or the improved cam chain tensioner and you're going to a mechanical tensioner, you're going to have to take the piston and put it in a soft jawed vise or between two pieces of wood that are clean. This stuff has to be done clean. Any engine work, if you get any abrasives in there, it's going to tear the shit out of the engine. So you have to depress that piston like 4 or 5 times to get all the oil out of it, because with the mechanical tensioner you will only want the spring tension. Okay, if you're putting in the improved cam chain tensioner from the stock one, you're going to put it in with the little BMW label facing inward toward the engine, and you're not going to use the spring. I believe that comes with a different piston, if I recall correctly. Yes, it does. You're going to use the piston that they give you, and you're not going to use the spring. If you put the spring in, it's going to be too much pressure on there. Okay, so I got my little box here with the tensioner in it. There's an O-ring in here. On the K1200 engines, you do not need the spacer. If you're going with the Southern California Motorworks tensioner, on the K1300, I believe you do need the spacer. So let me show you what's in here. I've got the 2 E8 screws. I've got the piston. There is an adjusting screw. You'll see there's different sides on it. That's the side that goes in towards the little piston on here. This has got this piston. The thin side goes in towards the engine. The thicker side goes into the body of this. Then this tip will go in here and press against that and push against the piston to tighten the tensioner. So first thing to go in is the piston. This one has been bled out, so there's only spring tension on there. Gonna put the piston in. You're gonna push this back, then get that over there, then you can slide it in a little bit, then it goes over it. You're gonna push it down and then get those 2 bolts on. After you do that, you're gonna start putting in the adjusting screw. And this is where I need Wendy to help me. I don't know if I can film this. It's just me putting 2 bolts in. That's it. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put the camera back here. I don't even know if you're gonna be able to see anything because I cannot see in my screen. Wendy hates being on camera. Can't stand it. Here you go, Wendy. Just make sure it threads in nice and smooth. I might not be holding it right for you. Going in easy? If it's not going in easy, then it's going in on an angle. Let me get better situated.
It looked alright.
No, it didn't grab.
No.
Let me try again. Hold on. Try that. I think I was on a bad angle for you. This is worse trying to film. Let me shut the camera off while we do this. When I get it, I'll let you see. GoPro, stop recording. Wendy saved the day again. Alright, you can tighten the other one more if you can. Can you get it to turn?
Yep.
Wendy knows all about cross-threading now and everything. Can't stand it. She doesn't want to know shit about mechanics. I'm force-feeding her information. Useless information that she does not want.
Yeah. How tight do you want them?
As tight as you can get it. You don't have to hurt your fingers. Okay, I put them, or Wendy's put them in both each side to side. That's snugged up a little bit. When you tighten this, you do not need to go crazy. These are going into soft materials, so do not over tighten this. You don't want to strip it out. I'm sorry, it's starting to get a little darker out here. I had my light out here. If you have to, you can use a 1/4 inch wrench on this. It's not the right tool. I do not recommend that. But if you do not have the E8 Torx and you need to do this, you can get these off with a 1/4 inch wrench. Like I said, I am not recommending that. It is better always to use the proper tools. There's an O-ring in there too. You got to make sure the O-ring is in there. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that. I'm just snugging these up a little bit. I'm not going crazy with these. Going easy. Okay. Now, the adjusting screw has to go in. What you're going to need to do this is a 17mm wrench for your lock nut and a 5mm Allen. Let me verify that it is 5mm because I'm old and senile, I forget. It's 5mm. I'm not that dumb today. I had to cut about 1/4 inch off of mine because you cannot clear the engine frame here. So we're going to start that in by hand. Again, the flat side goes in first because you wouldn't be able to adjust it otherwise. Maybe I'll use Wendy's fingers again. It goes that way. Watch yourself on that mat.
It goes this way?
That way, yep. Just screws right in there.
Okay.
Don't turn the nut, try to turn the centerpiece. There you go.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
That's all right. She don't know. You don't know. Okay. We're going to turn this in. That's as far as you could go, right?
Yep, as far as I know.
All right. I'm going to start turning this in until you start to feel some spring tension on it. It's about 4 or 5 threads out on the adjusting screw. That's when you start to feel some spring tension on there. I have to do an extra step here because I had this opened. I was trying to do a shortcut and get my timing chain tensioning rail out without disassembling the valve cover and doing it properly. I tried to take a shortcut. Shortcuts are horrible to do. A lot of times shortcuts bite you in the ass. I want to make sure that my shortcut does not bite me in the ass, just in case I jump the tooth on that chain while fiddle fucking around in there trying to do it the wrong way. I'm afraid to start the engine, because if it did jump a tooth, then what I explained with the interference engine, the valve and piston will collide and I have a paperweight. So I'm going to get the bike up on its center stand, put it in like 4th gear or something, and rotate the back wheel nice and gently and make sure that the engine rotates without any kind of jamming up. So I'll cut the video while I do that, and then we'll get back to this. So this is boring. You're probably seeing my fat stomach hanging in the way. Still not feeling any tension yet. Still not feeling it. Still not feeling it. Alright, now I'm starting to feel a little bit of spring tension. I'll back that off a little bit. That's about 4 or 5 threads out. Alright, I'm going to do what I explained to you with the rotating the wheel, just to make sure that the engine spins freely. I'm just turning this adjusting screw a little bit, the lock nut. So I'm going to get this up on the center stand and make sure that I didn't botch the engine up. Alright, GoPro, stop recording. Okay guys, I couldn't rotate that over the way I wanted to. I'm going to take a shot on hitting the starter. I hope I don't destroy the engine. I'm going to explain what I'm going to do now. I feel a little spring tension on here, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm loosening up that lock nut. I'm going to start the bike. And make sure I got spring tension. Feeling a little spring tension, all right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to start the bike. Then I'm going to start backing this out until I hear some chain noise. Then I'm going to go back in until the chain noise goes away, okay? I'm hearing chain noise now. Then start tightening it in. Fiddling with it a little. I want to get it right on the right sweet spot. That's it. Now hold that adjusting screw and then tighten up your lock nut. That's how you install the Southern California Motorworks mechanical timing chain tensioner. Thanks for watching, guys. I greatly appreciate your viewership, and I greatly appreciate all the guys that subscribed. I got over 2,000 subscribers now. Yippee! Thanks to you guys. It's happening. We're growing. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so, guys. It shows YouTube somebody's watching. It doesn't cost you anything, and it supports our channel. I hope this video was useful to some of you guys. I'm going to zip around a block and see how that sounds. I don't know what the hell was going on before with that horrible sound. I'll see if it comes back again. All right, guys. Stay safe. Take good care of your bikes. They'll take good care of you. Take good care of your tools, your cars, and most of all, take good care of your families. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye. Stay safe, right, and be happy. Bye. GoPro, stop recording.